The 49ers have made it clear that their philosophy for building a defense and really a whole team is building through their defensive line. They've done that through picks like Nick Bosa and also picking up Javon Hargrave this offseason. But first, let's look at their most successful season during Kyle Shanahan's regime, and that has to be the 2019 season when they made it to the Super Bowl. Specifically, let's focus on the defensive line. They had on one end Nick Bosa, then going across the line would be DeForest Buckner, who's one of the best defensive tackles in the league. Then you have Eric Armstead, another solid defensive tackle that many 49ers fans are aware of. And a key aspect of this defense that many fans didn't realize at the time was D forward, or the speed element that could really get to the quarterback. And the 49ers this offseason are looking to rebuild the same type of defensive line they had. First, they accepted they made a mistake by letting DeForest Buckner go and got his replacement, Javon Hargrave, who is one of the best defensive tackles, as I mentioned, especially at getting after the quarterback. And this year, they added one of the most explosive, quickest defensive ends in this draft in Robert Bill Jr. And look no further than his 40-yard dash time of 4.48 seconds. The 49ers also had him ranked as the #1 GTFO defensive end in this draft class, meaning he gets off faster than anyone else. And this first step is really what made D Ford so effective. He was one of the quickest first steps in the league before injuries caught up to him, and the 49ers hope they captured some of that magic in Robert Bill Jr. In this video, I hope to go over Robert Bill Jr.'s career up to this point, what scouts were saying about him, and how he figures to fit into the 49ers roster. Robert Bill Jr. is 6'4", weighing about 250 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan, which is exactly what you want in your defensive end, because he'll be able to reach for the quarterback when he's throwing the ball and hopefully hit it out of his hand and force a strip sack like he's shown on films at time. And he also ran that blistering fast 40 for his size at 4.48 seconds. That's quicker than Nick Bosa. Coming out of high school, he was ranked as a 5-star recruit, looked at by many as one of the best defensive ends in the entire class. And he had offers from Alabama, Georgia, and Notre Dame. He ultimately chose to go to Georgia, where his college career would begin. Entering the Georgia Bulldogs in 2018, he played in 11 games as a true freshman. He had 15 tackles and 1 sack, but just 6 in 2019 with 8 tackles and 7 contests. In 2020, he had no statistics and was a reserve, but Bill finally received his opportunity to play consistently around 2021 when he wound up leading the national champions with 6.5 sacks among 23 tackles and 2 pass breakups in those 15 games. And this was the same year they also had a first-round selection in Trayvon Walker. He had more sacks than a former first-round pick in Trayvon Walker that year. Bill was able to help the Bulldogs repeat a national championship in 2022 with 26 tackles and 3 sacks in a total of 15 games. While a lot of his stats aren't the most eye-popping, Bill was surrounded by top-end competition, and it's often hard to find your way onto the field in such a stacked team like the Bulldogs, but he did and led the team 1 year. The 49ers got exactly what they need. He's a developmental edge piece, but he will be able to rotate into Chris Kaceric's scheme. And going to Chris Kaceric is perfect for Bill because he'll be able to refine some of the skill sets he needs to. Bill will also look to compete for special team roles on the 49ers, but if he's able to also capitalize on the time he gets on defense, he should develop into a nice rotational piece on the defensive line. But those are just some of my thoughts on this Bill draft pick, and I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means a ton.